Expectation for Shedeur Sanders under Todd Monkin, I believe, will lead to disappointment. There is nothing about Todd Monkin as a head coach that should get you excited. As an offensive...
What's going on, guys? We're back with another one. And this time, we've got Ryan Clark responding to Emmanuel Acho's comments about Ty Monkin. Acho basically said the Cleveland Browns shouldn't be hyped about him becoming head coach, and maybe shouldn't even be listening to him. Now, Monkin, as I mentioned in my other video, which I'll link at the end of this one, was on Georgia's staff and actually recruited Shedeur as the offensive coordinator QB coach when Shedeur was in high school. When the draft rolled around, he was one of the most vocal on the staff pushing to draft Shedeur. Obviously, Shedeur didn't want to go to the Ravens because Lamar Jackson is there for the foreseeable future, but Ty Monkin wanted Shedeur badly. So it looks like Shedeur might have the inside track to be in QB1 next season for the Browns, now that Monkin is head coach, because this is a coach who's wanted him from the jump. Now we're going to break down Acho's comments and then Ryan Clark and Shanning's responses. Let's check it out.
Expectation for Shedeur Sanders under Todd Monkin, I believe, will lead to disappointment. There is nothing about Todd Monkin as a head coach that should get you excited. As an offensive coordinator, you could say Lamar Jackson had an MVP season under Todd Monkin. As an offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson had 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions under Todd Monkin. As an offensive coordinator, you can make arguments under Todd Monkin. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships at Georgia under Todd Monkin. But as a head coach, no. Nothing about Todd Monkin as a head man gets me excited. I need to see who the offensive coordinator is going to be. That's what I need to see. But what I don't yet see, T, is like, how is Todd Monkin going to command that locker room, command that group of men? And also, if I'm Shedeur or anybody in that locker room, why am I listening to Todd Monkin? What have you won on an NFL level as a head coach? You're not even a head coach on an NFL level. So I don't even have expectations for Shedeur under Todd Monkin because I believe any expectations I would have, he would not meet. Because why am I excited about it, T? Why?
Acho's take on Todd Monkin and Shedeur, I do believe it's one of those things when you kind of get into like the ulterior or like the auxiliary mediums and platforms, you do just get like a little looser, right? Like you're just having these conversations with your homeboy. And then sometimes you could say things and you could be like, yeah, like that wasn't necessarily how I meant it, what I meant, or I shouldn't have said it that way, or it's completely wrong that I had that thought. And I think people should have the opportunity to be able to not necessarily walk things back, but reevaluate things. Like I reevaluate things all the time and I look at them and say, okay, I could have handled this better, or this initial thought, now that I have new information, I see in a different manner. Todd Monkin earned his position. Todd Monkin has worked his way up as an offensive mind, even as an older coach, to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Todd Monkin has won national championships at Georgia as an offensive coordinator. He's taken the Baltimore Ravens and that offense, and he actually allowed it to evolve under who Lamar Jackson was. He won an MVP under Todd Monkin. He should have won another one with a 41-4 season from a touchdown interception ratio. So those are all reasons that Shedeur should listen. And also, too, Shedeur was raised to listen. Shedeur was raised to be respectful. Shedeur was raised to be a professional. Shedeur showed you throughout this entire season that not only does he listen, but he plays his role and understands who he is and where he is and the hierarchy of what an organization is. And so I think for us, when we get on these platforms and we have these opportunities, we do have to be very careful to watch what's clickbaity, to watch what we believe will bring us attention, because sometimes it brings the wrong attention. And then how you respond going forward is based on your priorities and what you want people to think of you, how they perceive you, or what you want to think of yourself. And as far as any of those things, that's based on the person.
His hairdo is clickbait.
You're stupid.
So one thing you never want to do is tell a player not to listen to their coach. Listen to this, because that coach is going to be the authority in the building for the foreseeable future. You've got 2 young quarterbacks trying to find their footing in the league. And then there's Shedeur, who, with just a few clicks, it's obvious he's got a relationship with Todd Monkin going all the way back to high school, and that relationship has been solid. You saw the embrace when Shedeur walked in, fresh back from Paris. Monkin was like, "Sit down, let's talk, let's chop it up." The word around the team is he's got the inside track to be in the starting QB next season, so we won't even be worrying about him getting opportunities with the ones. That's not the storyline this year. This year, it's all about how he progresses in camp and what he does with the chances he gets. I fully believe he's going to get the opportunity he should have gotten going into the draft. And here's why Emmanuel Acho's take is wild. Look at the journey, from the prank calls on draft night, dropping from a top 5 prospect to the 5th round, and now, just a year later, he has a coach who favors him as the starter, a coach who fought to have him drafted. Now you've got a coach who sees Shador the way many of us saw him, as the potential QB to lead this franchise. And think about it, most players who went over him didn't have a coach who genuinely wanted to develop them at every level. It's wild how things can shift in a short year. He's still early in his career, few starts under his belt, got his feet wet with the guys, they know his cadence now. This year, he's got a full training camp, full preseason to show what he can do for the team, and I'm excited to see it. Now, Monkin, yeah, he hasn't been a head coach at the NFL level before. Cool, that's fair. But this is a guy who earned this shot. It's not like the Browns just picked somebody random. He's been with top-tier college programs, comes from the Ravens, where he pushed to draft Shedeur, and has been around the game at the highest level, including working on Lamar Jackson's development. Why wouldn't you want Todd Monkin? Seriously, why wouldn't he be a prime candidate to come in and lead the Browns? Now, we'll see how it plays out, but even then, sometimes you gotta give a coach a few drive classes and a few free agencies to make the roster moves and build the team. A lot of that responsibility falls back on the organization itself. It's not just the players, not just the coaches. The front office has to make the money work, make smart deals so the team is positioned to succeed. That's why this is professional football. It's not like pickup ball where you just pick whoever you want. I want to see schematically what they're doing on both sides of the ball this year, and I'm curious how different it'll be for Shedeur, getting reps under center in training camp. That's the real question, because we've seen he can take shots downfield. He's the QB with the ability to make big plays, and that skill is huge. If he can stop staring down receivers too long, holding the ball a bit too much, and get slightly better protection, all of that will make a difference. I'm genuinely interested to see how it all unfolds. But yeah, I want to hear from you. What do y'all think about Ryan Clark's take on Acho? Was it bogus or fair? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.